Hi, I'm William here again. Thank you for joining me again for this week's project video. Now, a little time ago, I can't remember how long ago it was, I promised to make somebody a salt and pepper mill. Now, I got round to it eventually and there was no need to remind me every 6 months, but here we are. I've got a gap in my project schedules, so this week I'm going to turn a very contemporary salt and pepper mill. Now, for some time now, probably 2 to 3 years, I've had a few Craft Pro salt and pepper mill kits in my box of components. Now, when I bought these kits, I downloaded the Craft Pro instructions from the internet, and for the first time I've read them today. They seem a little bit unnecessarily convoluted and only give dimensions in the radius and the diameter, not in the length, so they're only of limited help. Now, I don't really like turning the same thing twice in one day. Boring. So I'm just wondering how I can avoid it. Hey, what are you doing today? No, nothing much. Supposed to be cleaning out the chicken coop. Well, leave that and come and turn a salt mill for me. Who's it for? It's for her indoors. She asked you 2 years ago. Yeah, I know. Okay, to kick off then, having measured the diameter and the length of the components, I need to sketch out a rough plan for both the salt mill and the pepper mill. Now, believe it or not, even though these kind of come as a set, the diameters of the components are not the same. Now, the two mills should end up the same length, which means at least aesthetically they should be okay. Now, the first thing to do then, of course, is to rough out both the walnut and the spalted beech blanks. So these two mills will be turned at the same time, making use of the Axminster and the Record power lathes simultaneously. I note here he's having a go with a skew, which he thought was a barbecue accessory until this morning. Now, having got the walls nice and parallel, I need to mark out now for a tenon on the bottom and to part it a bit further up. Now, once I get the piece mounted securely in the C-jaws, I've got to think about drilling 3 different holes at the base of the mill. Now, not having the right size Forstner bits for the pepper mill, I've got to resort to a flat spade drill bit, which is not ideal. As you can see, it's wobbling around a bit. Now, I think I could have avoided this using a pilot hole, the smaller drill, to start with. Anyway, the final hole has to be 25mm all the way through the piece. To proceed any further, I've got to think about improvising a couple of little tools to hold the pepper mill in place while I finish the outside, the top and the bottom together. The two halves of the pepper mill have a box type joint, but the top of the pepper mill just requires a 5mm hole all the way through. So, having got the top and the bottom mounted on the lathe together, I can now reduce these together to make sure it's a good fit to the desired diameter. From here on, I finish the outside using my standard finish, which is sanding to 240 grit, several coats of pre-thinned sanding sealer, denibbing between each coat, Yorkshire grit and Yorkshire grit microfine, and then the application of Hampshire Sheen High Gloss using the hot air gun method. About this point, I decided that the pepper mill could do with some embellishments and decided on a series of gold pinstripes. Put some bling on it. Okay. Okay, so that's the salt and the pepper grinders completed. Now I guess I should check to see if they actually work. Well, the pepper mill works. Hey, come and test your salt mill. Come on, just get on with it. So what's this pink salt? She give you this? Himalayan salt? What's wrong with English salt? Oh, you already put some in. See? It works fine. Works fine. You know? Whoever been digging this Himalayan salt up, it's a bloody miracle. Why? What do you mean? Because they dug it up 9 months before its expiry date. Okay, on that note, thanks very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next week.